Yes, please, chat room. Where is the chat room? There's the chat room.
Allegedly.
It's there, chat. It's there, I promise.
Okay.
I see them, but then again, I see many things that aren't there. Or they are there, but other people just can't see them.
Right. I see Max on the homepage, so that's good.
Good, yeah.
And of course, now is when Firefox decides to lock up. Really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Firefox.
Yep. This is... yeah. You're praying to yours, honey? Because mine, you know... I would
No,
suggest...
that was Namaste.
Oh. You forgot the rest of that phrase. Namaste, bitches.
Okay. I think
We are live, Michaela.
We are live?
But it's not on the podcast yet. Guys, I cuss. Who knew?
Alright. When you are ready.
All right. Shall we start this thing? Can they see us?
Yeah, but you're echoing.
Bloody hell.
Not
you're-
robot, echo.
Not robot, yeah, like
You're in a very big bathroom.
You've seen our bathroom then. All right. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Make plans to see the World of Warcraft movie with your guildmates.
A wild Ralph is here to... I can't even say that. A wild Ralph is here with a report on BDO.
The Final Fantasy XIV crew is looking for raiders.
We have RFF Captain Sybil's STO report.
And Max and Seema are here to talk to us about Star Wars: The Old Republic.
All that and more coming up now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 251 of the podcast celebrating you, the Alia Acta S gaming community. The Die Has Been Podcast. This is Makala, and to my left is the absolutely lovely Eludra.
Hey, AIE, I think you're awesome.
And you're awesome too, Eludra. And right there, to my right, literally cleaning up whatever mess I have made in the guild kitchen, is Tetsumi.
She speaks truth.
I honestly didn't put what I put in the show notes for him to say. All right. This week we're joined by our very special guests, Max and Seema, who are here to talk to us about AIE in SOTOR. Welcome, guys.
hey, how's it going?
Going good. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us about our favorite galaxy far, far away and the MMO that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's been I know we'll talk all about it, but it's been great to have you guys stopping by and visiting. That's been a highlight for us in the past couple weeks. So
Awesome. I definitely need to get back into it. So, I know you guys have been really busy with all the fun in SOTOR. So, Eludra, what's been going on with you in and out of game? I know you mentioned some farming something.
I've been playing this game called Stardew Valley. It's a new farming simulator like Harvest Moon, but it is like everything you ever really wanted one of them to be, and it's pretty awesome, amazing. So that's where I've been. Our Star Wars
She's been
friends would
digging
be...
in the dirt.
Yes, I have been. Our Star Wars friends would be thrilled to know that I named one of my chickens Kylo Hen. and the other one is Chewbacca, and it's adorable, and I love them. And yes, I've been playing this game kind of like it's my job, really. But it's really great for de-stressing, I've found. So of course, you got to kind of drag me away. In World of Warcraft news, I have an alliance character actually has a garrison.
Nice.
I know. I'm very happy with my little hunter. She's running around like crazy. I managed to get one of the rare spawns. He drops a mount on accident. Awesome. Yeah. So I got a bonus mount, and I got my moose for raiding.
Great.
Yeah, I know. Really bad week for me to get a rare mount drop, considering now I've got this shiny moose, and yeah, it's not going to see the light of day anytime soon. I did not get a love rocket, much like everybody else. Game. But other than that, yeah, I've just been gaming like everybody else. Unfortunately, doctor's appointments and other fun things keep me away during podcast time, so sorry, guys.
That happens.
Yeah.
So, Ted, I know every time I look over at the computer next to me, you're playing SWTOR, so what's going on with you in and out of game?
Pretty much that, yeah. I made spreadsheets for Star Wars that tells you how involved I am. But
so what? It's a passing interest? I mean, it's a spreadsheet with you, Ted Semi.
It's a Tuesday. Let's be honest, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why? Or I need to budget to buy a new dress, and he makes a spreadsheet telling me exactly how many Starbucks runs I need to cut out to get that dress.
No, in this case it was crew skills, because I was duplicating some crew skills. Yes, I know it's tough to say. I ended up with I had 5-6 scavengers, and it was like, okay, you don't need that many. Max mentioned slicing. Let's go try slicing, and good lord, my smuggler is now addicted to slicing.
I love
it's
slicing.
Free
money. Free money.
And it's just everywhere on the map. It's like they literally cannot give it away fast enough.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I will be on my way to a mission, and I'll look on the mini-map, and there's just the little asterisk that says, hey, there's a gatherable over here, and I'll look and go, okay, so I got to go through those 10 mobs. Yeah, it's worth it. All right, clear out the mobs. Go get the case. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Nice.
But I have my trooper through chapter 10, and I'm working my smuggler up, who currently just got to Hoth. I have the boost to 60, but it's one of those things where they've done the storyline so well that I feel like boosting a character would actually be cheating because you'd miss.
Yeah, it's such a waste.
Yeah.
You gotta get that story.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to?
Oh, me? Well, someone talked me into playing Star Wars. It wasn't really talking into. It was more of looking over and seeing my favorite universe on his screen, and our child playing. And I haven't had much of a chance to play it. My adorable little Jedi Knight just hit 10th. So anyone's looking for me, my name's Dorshae, Dorshae. Yes, that's the way I spell my name. But yeah, little baby Jedi Knight. I can't wait to get more into it. And as out of game as Tet picked on me earlier, a friend of mine and I went from working on an online D&D thing to we decided yesterday we're just going to write a book.
Oh, well, geez, that's like crazy.
So I'm now taking it involves spreadsheets, I promise. What we had planned, what we're doing with the Forgotten Realms stuff, and well, if we're gonna write a book, we actually need to make our own pantheon, and we need to figure out what domains we want. So let me make a spreadsheet so we can take what gods we're using and figure out how we're going to make them our own and correlate them to things. So I'm doing book planning in spreadsheet form, which is very geeky because it relates to something D&D.
Yes.
And if I need any help with the spreadsheets, I'm married to Ted Semi. I am married to Ted Semi. That is about my geekiness lately. Hopefully, He's looking at me. I think I miss the geekness. Hopefully I'll get a chance to get back into Star Wars soon. Now, Max and Seema, what have you guys been doing in and out of game?
Seema, you want to go? 'Cause I've been doing boring things.
No, she's
Seema
muted.
is muted?
I did not mute her. But yeah, she has the little muted icon. Okay, well,
fix it.
Max.
So I'll go first. and
Yes,
then,
also boring stuff you've been doing, or not boring.
We'll get Seema
Yes.
unmuted.
Oh,
So-
there we go. Now she's unmuted.
And she's
Yeah.
remuted.
Remuted while I started to talk. So yes, I am doing the usual boring day. My secret, what I call my secret identity. Now I do have a tech job, so that's been pretty fun, but it's been keeping me pretty busy. Been hanging out with my daughters. Finally got to see Ant-Man this weekend. And I was pretty
Wow.
excited about that.
Such a good movie.
So that was fun. They had seen it before, of course, with their friends in the theaters, but I'm not gonna go with the little teenage girls to the movie theater. So
Yeah.
You're the cool dad, but not that cool of a dad.
no, that steps over the line.
Yeah, that becomes
Uh,
the cool, creepy dad?
Yeah, exactly. I have been playing plenty of Star Wars. We'll talk
Yay.
all about that. I do poke my head in on World of Warcraft every once in a while for things like our guild events. That was really fun. And I mostly just watch for was it Blood and Talons to get this Saber Stalker rep, or I don't even
Yes.
know. That's all.
Yeah.
I think that's all I do now, is because I know that's like one of the next things I need to do to get flying. And I don't really
Yes.
care about doing anything except having my druid be able to fly in that game again.
Oh,
Which would be really nice.
Hey, once
And
you
then-
get it on one character, it's account wide, though. I mean,
I
I can
know.
fly on the Alliance side. It's all great.
Although I wish the reps were account wide, so then I could just
That
go
would be
log in
nice.
on all the characters and do Blood and Talons.
Yeah.
A little bit of Black Desert Online this weekend too, hanging out with our crew that's in there. I know we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, and that's
Cool.
what I've been up to.
awesome. Seema, what have you been up to?
Well, like Max, I've been playing quite a bit of Star Wars, doing our normal ops nights, and yes, we're gonna get into that a little bit more. I also play a little bit of WoW. Yep, but I'm not. I'm way more pro at it than Max is, because I mean, I had my Saber Stalker rep a long time
A
ago.
long time ago.
Impressive. Most impressive.
That was funny when I first was able to fly again. I was just like, "Oh, I'm flying! I can go over here because I can fly there."
But I can fly.
Look at all this content I'm skipping.
At least the flying is account wide. It's
That
just,
is
but
nice.
the reps are not. In SWTOR, I will say that our reps are account wide. So just
Perfect.
saying. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That is something all games need to look into.
I really do.
Yes. Yeah, but we have some weird things that aren't that should be. So I don't know. I liked what you guys were saying in the beginning when we were chatting, that we should take the best out of each MMO and glom it all together and make the
We
best
totally
MMO.
should.
Yeah.
We will call it
Yeah.
Pokemon. No.
I never played Pokemon, but I am hardcore into pet battles and WoW.
There you go,
Love
man.
that.
Yeah.
There's a podcast for that, by the way.
I hear that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it up, and I was going to be less subtle, but thank you for that, Michaela.
I'm just
Sounds
saying.
like there's an ointment for that.
I know.
Wow, Wild Ralph appears.
Oh.
Speaking of which, Ralph, what have you been up to?
Yes.
I've been playing all kinds of little games. I got Super Hot in Steam. I don't know
Right.
if any of you know that, but
That
yes.
sounds bad.
played the whole
I'm
thing.
sorry.
I already knew you were super hot. I don't get the.
I know, right?
Thank you very much. No, it's basically imagine like the Matrix, or if you ever played Max Payne, remember the bullet time?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's a puzzler, so it's kind of like that plus Portal.
Oh, wow.
And it's got a really weird storyline, kind of like the old Prisoner TV show.
Oh wow.
So,
I'm not a number. I'm a free man, not a number, because I almost reversed that.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like that. The storyline part of it, takes you from 2 to 4 hours, depending upon how fast you are. But and then it's got just an endless play mode after that, and it's just great because you can sit down, play it for 5 minutes, go do something else.
Cool.
And I've been playing that, and also Rocket League, which is also sort of a 5-minute game.
Right.
But then I started feeling the itch for old school MMO feeling, and that's why I jumped into the Black Desert.
Awesome.
I've only been in it a few days, like middle of the week, but I'm enjoying it so far, and we got about 25 people in there.
Perfect.
So it's pretty cool.
Great. Well, we're going to be digging actually into SOTOR and a little BDO just a little while. But first, we're going to go ahead and cover this week's news.
AIE News.
All right. Well, it is never too early to plan a meetup, and Michaela has started a thread in the community section discussing meetups for the Warcraft movie. I know the Phoenix contingent will be getting together for this. Something about reserved seats, being all fancy, pinky up. So they may tie in a dinner before or after, depending on a schedule. But if you are not in Phoenix and you want to get in on this meetup action, head on over to the forums. Check it out.
Or meetup.com, where we do have an AIE page.
Okay, well, that wasn't in the thing, so...
I know it wasn't.
Just playing on my naivety and trusting that you put it in the show notes. All right, so also speaking of stuff outside of games and in that weird MMO we call outside, join us in Rocket Chat for all that green wall experience for... whatever else you're doing. It's at AIE.community. Use your Umami login and password to log in. There's a Windows, iOS, and Android app, so you can get to it where you want it, which almost sounds completely wrong.
It does.
Tell who wrote the show notes.
It was not me. I was Actually, I was grocery shopping.
You were grocery shopping.
Hey, Ralph, what's going on with Black Desert Online?
Yeah, we heard a thing about it. What is this?
So it's a full-up MMO. It's actually been around for a while in Korea, and now it's over in the U.S. and the EU. It's very cool-looking, sort of fantasy-based MMO, and contrary to like a lot of other games that are sort of more modern, where they try to streamline everything and try and make it like as simple and quick as possible, these guys are doing the old school way where everything is a learning curve. This game has crafting, gathering, it has networking. You have to talk to all the different people in all the different towns. You have to go around and talk to all the NPCs and get to know them all, and talk to all the other NPCs about those NPCs. So there's a
Wow, that is old school.
It's like a gossiping type part to it, feels like.
Right?
Yeah.
And you get, knowledge is what they call it, but to me it sounds like, it's soap opera stuff.
Right.
But
You're gossiping.
yes, the combat is action-based combat, which means if you have a sword and a shield, you have buttons that control those. It's much more like they actually have a way you can control it with the gamepad. But once you learn how to hit with your sword and block with your shield, then if you block with your shield while you're moving forward, that's another move. So it's very much like those console fighting games.
Right.
And you learn more moves as you go up. They have tons of classes: warrior, ranger, berserker, Valkyrie, sorceress, wizard, witch. And they had, like in the Korean game, you'd see it. They had one called a blader, which I think is like a ninja with a sword.
Yeah.
And they had one called a plum, which is
interesting.
Also a ninja with a sword, but it's female and like more stealthy. Like even more stealthy ninja. Yeah.
Super stealthy ninja.
Those aren't in the U.S. one just yet, but I think they're supposed to come.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that they have in there that are cool is this auto path. So when you have a quest and you're supposed to go to the next guy, you can just click on a little icon in the quest, and this path will show up, and your dude will run straight to them.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
And if you're in town and you're like, I need to find somebody to sell all my fish to, there's an NPC searcher. You can click on it, and it has a list of all the different types of NPCs you might want, and you can click on those to kind of filter it. And then once you get down to one NPC, again, you can click the thingy and just have your dude run to him.
Oh,
Great.
nice.
Which is very nice.
So it's like an auto-driving car, except it's an auto-driving NPC.
Yep. And you can get a horse. And once you have a horse, it will also run to the right guy. You have to take care of your horse. I accidentally killed my horse.
Oh my gosh!
Did you ride him off a cliff, or just forget to feed him?
No. People had told me I knew not to ride him into the water because he can drown, and he kind of stops at the edge of a cliff and it makes it, he's very. But I accidentally ran into a castle where all the guys were like 20 levels above me, and
whoops.
they killed me and my horse almost instantly.
Killed you and the horse.
And the horse you rode in on.
Yes. And the horse I auto-pathed in on.
All right, yep.
So I was able to revive my horse, but it cost me 7,000 silver.
Really?
Which was way worth it. I thought he was gone for good.
Although that's not that much, I guess.
So yeah, speaking of 7,000 silver, fishing is the way to make some money.
Right. That's
What you do is fishing is very cool. I'm one of those stupid people who like fishing in Warcraft, and in this game it's very active. You hit the space bar to cast the thing, and then when it gets up there, you got to hit the space bar again at just the right time to set the hook, and then if you don't do it perfectly, you have to type some letters in a sequence real quick to finish the thing before you get your stuff. But what's weird is you can also just walk away. You can just leave the computer entirely and just let it go. And in fact,
it'll auto-fish?
It will auto-fish. I don't think it's as good as if you're doing it yourself or as fast.
Right.
So what people do is they basically log off. You can minimize the window, and it will fish all night until your fishing pole breaks down or you run out of inventory. And then when you come back, you can sell all your stuff, and you made about 20,000 silver.
Wow.
Right.
In the morning.
So you can kill your horse like 2.8 times.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
You got a little window there for killing your horse a few times.
You're right.
So it sounds like that's their way of basically fighting somebody roboting or scripting that, because that's what they do anyway.
Yep. I think you're right. They just go ahead and say after 3 minutes it's going to do it anyway. Now, I've been playing so far just one dude, going through this stuff. I'm about level 15. But apparently the thing to do to really own this game is to make many alts. You can also hire workers in the different towns, have them start doing all the gathering on all the rote stuff for you, and really make an empire in this place. And I will tell you, if you run around the town of Heidel, which is the sort of bigger town to the south, you will see all over the place Death Ode's workers. They're just these. It seems like half of the NPCs are his workers.
Wow.
Did he just Eve that game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's gone insane. He's everywhere. So definitely, we have a post on our forums. Look at Black Desert. It's in the Imperium Luidei section, which stands for Games of the Empire, and that's us. You can go to blackdesertonline.com to read all about the game. And also, I don't know if you guys have used this, but in other games, there's a resource called Dolphy.net.
Yeah, which is great for Star Wars stuff as well.
It's great for Rift. It's great for tons of games. DULFY.net, and they've already got a bunch of Black Desert guides, which
cool.
are really kind of needed with all the stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's just looking at some of the posts real quickly, like how to level up a weapon, and I was looking at it going, okay, why do they need an infographic on how to level up a weapon? And then I read it and went, oh yeah, they
that's
need
why.
an infographic.
Yeah, it seems like
Awesome.
everything they've done where a lot of the newer games have sort of said, we're just going to make it so there's like step 1, 2, 3, and you just click and it
Right.
goes.
Or it happens automatically.
Yeah,
Or
they've
you don't need
they've
it at all.
said, nope, we're going to make it so you need a manual.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, quick question. I may have missed it. I don't see it in the notes, so I'm going to ask again in
Yeah.
case it's already been said. Is this buy to play? Is it free to play?
It is buy to play. With,
okay.
It's like Guild Wars. It's buy to play, but you can buy little more inventory stuff, more costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can keep buying stuff your whole life, but if you just want to play the game, it was like $30, but then they have other packs where you get more stuff when you start. So you get, like, I bought the pack that comes with a horse and a pet.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a puppy dog and a horse.
Very
Very
nice. Okay. That's
Cool.
good to know.
Well, thank you so much for the update on that, Ralph. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we have a guild over there. If you go over there, Death Ode is the guy. That's the name if you want to friend them up, or just look on our forums, and that'll be the info there too.
Right.
Yeah,
Especially the
unlike-
Serper.
Yeah, unlike a lot of the MMOs, the guild cap starts out very small, and you actually have to level up the guild to raise the guild cap, and that's what they're in the process of doing. So just put Death Ode on your friends list, and then they'll, just ping them every once in a while to see if there are openings in the guild.
Yep, and apparently, just me running around, killing stuff and doing my quests apparently helps in that. So I'm trying to help out.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, Ralph, for that.
No problem.
And we're going to switch into World of Warcraft. The Ludra wrote this. I know she did. The Blizzard Pet Battle team has decided that epic pet battle stones are not to be a thing, which is good news for pet battlers because, good lord, who wanted to farm up 700 stones? That would have been ridiculous.
Oh, no. There's more. There's a cap of 1,000 pets, so some people have hit the cap with multiples.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you,
right.
Blizzard. Kyvax was the one to announce it, and we all heart Kyvax.
Yes, we
Very
do.
much. Yeah. The latest 6.2.3 hotfixes are out, and they're all about PvP changes with ability rebalances and minor Asheran bug fixes. There's a link to the forums in the show notes that explains all of the goodness of the PvP changes.
Minor things like we'll properly credit winners and stuff.
Just more like quality of life changes.
Yes, exactly.
You can win.
Right. All right. In Final Fantasy XIV, Neo Phoenix is looking for raiders for Alexander, the new Final Fantasy raid on Tuesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested, let him know on the forums, in-game, or just drop in. They're going to be in Mumble, and the invite is wide open. And Jasmine wanted everyone to know how up-to-date our housing decor is.
It is.
It is awesome. Anissa's doing a really good job I can't read. Anissa's really on the ball when it comes to keeping things up in the current event/season. We've just got a really neat music player, in the house that lets us set whatever. Wow, I cannot speak tonight. Lets us set to whatever music folks want to hear when they're inside. Thank you guys for being so up to date on that and making sure our Final Fantasy XIV housing is the best.
Yes, because it is. All right, so we'll discuss SWTOR more in the game news section, but we did want to highlight that Tetsemi and a few others have created spreadsheets to help you track your crew skills.
Of course.
Yeah. At first glance, crew skills may not seem like a focus, but trust me, having some crafted gear while leveling, as well as a sense of advancement, helps you round out your character. It's something SWTOR does very well and helps enhance your playthrough game. And they're sharing with all of us, so that's just great.
Thank you.
Also, the Escape Podcast, episode number 132, is up on the feed. Max and Stemma, I wonder who discuss all the things 4.3 on the that's on the published test server. So go check them out. They're cool people, as you can tell.
We like them a lot.
Yes.
We do. And in Star Trek Online, RRF Captain Sybil's synopsis of the Star Trek Online news for the week ending March 6th, 2016. Season 11.5, or 11.5 if you want to be precise, which will be released very soon, shall not only include the new skill tree, but a Romulan Admiralty... I can't even say that.
Admiralty campaign.
Admiralty campaign. That's easy for you to say. Yes, Romulan players will get equal Admiralty love along with the Federation and Klingon allies. Among the rewards this new campaign brings are fabulous tech upgrades and an epic quality Romulan Admiralty ship. Starting Tuesday, March 4th until Monday, March 7th, all duty officer packs will be available for purchase in the C-Store for 20% off. It's a perfect chance to fill your roster and replace those expendable red shirts. But that's not all. Starting Thursday, March 3rd until Thursday, March 24th, all Delta Alliance duty officer packs purchased from the C-Store will be put into your inventory as usual, but here's the deal. When you open the pack, it will contain 10 Lobi crystals or a Tier 6 Krenum Anorax Science Dreadnought, in addition to the duty officers. This is one fine ship. Other bonus items are available. See the Star Trek Online website for details. The Into the Breach event queue has been updated and reintroduced into the PvE event queues. This pits you and your fleet mates against the Vossel Voth City ship for reputation marks. And here's this deal. Starting March 3rd until March 24th, captains between levels 50 and 60 can queue up for the 5-captain Into the Breach event to defeat the evil Voth City ship and earn 1 Voth operative transmission every 20 hours. Collecting 14 Voths will reward 50,000 dilithium ore, 500 fleet marks, 250 reputation marks of your choice, and a Tier 6 Voth Admiralty ship card. See the Star Trek Online website for even more exciting bonuses for this event. The Galactic Development Campaign has ended by players completing all 3 tiers. Until Thursday, March 10th, all players will be getting 150% bonuses for all types of skill sets. For the status of the AIE Classes Fleet Starbase, fleet mates are encouraged to check on their fleet holding tabs in the in-game menu. Contributions of material and personnel are always requested to assist in building the base up to its full potential. Further news, patch notes, forums, commentary, etc. are always available at StarTrekOnline.com, and players are encouraged to check in regularly. Thanks to RRF's Captain Sybil for the STO updates.
Woo!
And with that, I know, I made it.
Woo! Well
All
done.
right, and with that, let's get back to Max and Seema and find out what's going on with another space game, Star Wars. Woo!
Yay!
So guys, what's going on with Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Well, you're roboting a little bit.
Yeah,
Michael.
a little robot-y.
Robot.
So, as you fix that, we'll kick it off.
Yep, go ahead.
So, Star Wars: The Old Republic. We're in the middle of a new set of content right now, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk a little bit about all the fun stuff going on in the guild too. But I wanted for us to sort of recap where all the expansions have led to, because one of the key strengths, I think, of BioWare and Star Wars: The Old Republic is really the storytelling, and they do consult with the canon masters over at, well, Disney now, but the sort of the Lucas canon team. Not everything that they do in Star Wars in Star Wars: The Old Republic is necessarily canon, but it has the opportunity to feed into that over time.
Well, that's great, because you don't want everything outright discarded, you know?
Right.
It gives players a bigger sense of connection, and that's really cool.
Right. And that's really how Disney is now treating all of what they've called legends. It's now a big pool of stuff out there that they could pull into canon eventually. Like, it would be awesome to see if Revan ever showed up in canon.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we talk about expansions that have happened leading up to where we are now, Revan was one of the big things that happened last year. There was a whole long storyline which brought Revan forward from Knights of the Old Republic, the previous games, It talked about sort of what's been going on since then. We know sort of where Revan left off. There was books even that came out in between. And then we got to go through this expansion that started with forging an alliance between the Imperial, the Empire, and the Republic, because Revan was sort of outside of both and drawing on both and creating a big mess. And was it really Revan? We didn't know. Yada yada yada.
Right.
So that was pretty cool. But as that completed, all of that was driving towards, and we'll try not to be too spoilery, but all that was driving towards resurrecting and bringing back to life the Emperor, right?
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like you do.
Like one would.
We've all read Dark Empire and all that stuff. That's what you do in Star Wars.
So
Bring
by
back
the end-
emperors, yes.
Yeah, by the end of that whole story arc, what happens is there's a big nasty conflagration on the planet of Ziost, and stuff happens there, which then launches into the newest expansion, which is Knights of the Fallen Empire. And Knights of the Fallen Empire has really been a game changer. Simo, why don't you talk about sort of the whole chapter thing and where we sort of started out and our carbonite nap?
So the biggest thing about Knights of the Fallen Empire is it's introducing this episodic way of telling the story. And by episodic, what I mean is they are releasing a chapter of the story every month. They started out by releasing 9 chapters at once, and then in February we had chapter 10. In March, like tomorrow, Tuesday, we're going to get chapter 11.
Mhm.
So
Is it Tuesday or
that's
Thursday?
their way of trying to get people to subscribe, right? So if you want to do the story in current mode, then you would subscribe because that's how you get the story. Or you can wait 6 months and subscribe for a month and do 6 chapters at once.
So it's like the Marvel Unlimited app for the iPad, but in game form.
Yeah, you just change it.
Yes, it's like watching, the Academy Awards and live tweeting it or watching it later on YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah.
The whole deal with subscribing, though, the content only comes with subscription, but you only need to subscribe once, say for
Right.
1 month, and you get everything that's ever happened basically up to this point in this in the SWTOR universe.
Yeah.
So if you subscribed today, then you're right, Titsemi. If you subscribe today, you don't get it till Thursday. But if you subscribed as of the first of the month, so 6 days ago, you would be getting it tomorrow.
Got it.
Cool.
It's 2 days
I'm
early
totally
access.
coming on.
Oh, really, Ted?
You
You work from home.
That's right.
But all of the content catches up.
And half the time you're down here, not upstairs in the office, because I work from home too.
I know.
And the boss is in the same room with you, and you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
your strategy to take on work doesn't work. So yeah, you do have to subscribe, but one $15 a month subscription for 1 month would catch you up. So if you wanted to check in and see where things are at, you can check in. There are rewards for staying subscribed. There's rewards for subscribing early and those kinds of things too.
And I just wanted to add, too, if you played SWTOR back in the beginning and you're thinking, gosh, I don't want to do all that rigmarole, I just want to find out Knights of the Fallen Empire, you can jump in and start with they have a token, a level to 60 token, and you can start with Knights of the Fallen Empire if that would float your boat.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good point.
Although you're missing a huge amount of content, you could do it.
Yes,
So,
you could.
yeah.
And then if you found that you wanted to go back and get that content, you just start a new character and then play through it all.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
All of the leveling is a little bit faster than it has been. They go through these periods where they give bonus XP. They do like 2 times XP. At one point leading up to this expansion, they were going 12 times XP. So basically, you just did your class story quests.
That's all
Now
you need to do.
It's about half that. It's a sort of in this 4 to 6 times what it was at launch. So it's still relatively fast to just level up from scratch.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah.
give you those experience tokens every once in a while, and I'm like, I don't need this. I'm already because like Guild Wars 2, if you're over level for the area you're in, it will show in your user interface that it clamped you down. So
Yep.
like I'm 44 on Hoth, and it's clamped me down to 38, I think. So I'm like, I don't need these tokens.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. That was new with this expansion as well, is they took all of the planets and they level synced all of the planets. So if you go back to a planet, the planets are level synced and the content, it's not really hard because you're at the highest level you could be at that planet, but it matters and it's useful.
Yeah.
It allows them the opportunity to then do other things back on those planets, send you back there, or have you do heroic quests on those planets for extra rewards, and have it be viable content, and not just one-shotting everything.
Right.
Yeah,
So
they don't have to create a separate area that, like, McCullough ran into, that she's like, what happened? I said, did you wander into a heroic area? And she's like, yeah, I think I did.
I did, you know.
Yep. They also changed things up. So there's a point in the story, a little bit of a spoiler, but this is how the story kicks off. You end up, you go off into this far off part of the galaxy where this eternal empire has been started up, and you end up getting frozen in carbonite for 5 years. That's the start to the story, and all your companions are gone. They're, they don't know.
Yeah, they moved on. They moored you and left.
Some of them just assume you're dead. Some of them don't care. Some of
Some of them were glad for the opportunity to skedaddle.
Some of them think you're only pining for the fjords and you're not dead.
They started a cult about you, yeah.
But throughout all the content, then throughout all these chapters, you're going and getting you're sort of finding some of those companions again. You're seeking some of them out. Some of them show up, and some of them show up in classes that they weren't originally part of. And some of them you can get
They've developed,
which is sort of fun. Yeah. So that's a fun part of it, and all of that sort of feeds into this system that they have now called the Alliance, which as you complete chapter 10, now you need to fight this eternal empire in chapters sort of 9, 10 through 16, and you've created a base on the planet of Odessen, and you're starting to now recruit lots and lots of companions. So if you thought it was interesting having
lots and lots
before, I think now I'm up to, let me switch over here. Like, I think I'm up to about 20 different companions that I can switch off between now.
Wow.
And that's only the start. No, it's got to be more than that. It's like 30 here.
No, it's crazy.
So, if you remember the smuggler from the original trailer from SWTOR, Nico Okar, he's now a companion that you can get. He shows up. There's a few different HK droids that are now companions.
Okay, so minor spoiler: if you care about HK-51, skip for about a minute. But do you ever get him back?
51. So HK-47 was the one that's Revan's dude, right?
Right.
51 is the one that you can get in the game, separate from Knights of the Fallen Empire. 55 is the one in the Knights of the Fallen Empire story. Is that the one you're asking about?
Yeah, that one. 50. I think it's 55. I have to go check.
It clearly says 55.
Yeah. So 55. Spoiler. Big time spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Put on pause for 15 seconds.
Put your fingers in your ears.
HK-55 has a sort of a little sacrifice moment there, and sort of saves your life at one point in the story.
Aww.
Okay.
Now.
And you don't get him back.
If you pre-ordered and you subscribed by January 1st, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, the answer is no.
Gotcha.
Wow, that's mean.
Right?
Choices that matter, whether or not you subscribe.
So
no, it's
it
good.
was a little subscriber reward that there's sort of like a little side story, like a little 20-minute, 15-minute side story where you find out sort of what happened, and you get the opportunity to sort of get a version of him back. Let's say. So
Okay.
Gotcha.
He can be reincarnated. Got it.
He's a robot, so he can be rebuilt.
Here he is. This is him,
Reprogrammed.
HK-55. He's a great character in the story. As you would expect, as all the HK droids, they add a bit of humor that I really like.
Yeah, they're fun.
So Seema, why don't you talk about what's coming up? Because there's a few new things they're adding along the way now in the next couple months.
Yep, on the PTS right now they have our new Warzone, which is a King of the Hill type game. Pretty complex as I understand it. I know Max has played it on the PTS, and I've watched some people streaming playing it. It has many moving parts. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it is King of the Hill. There's basically you're inside of a version of your Odessan base. So it's a sort of a base. There's an outside part and there's an inside part. There's 5 nodes then, and you basically have to stand in the square to cap it and not let the other team kill all of you to get you out of the square. And 2, 3, or 4 of the nodes can light up at a time, and so it is pretty complicated. And there's like extra bonus boosts that have special abilities to turn a node on or off or make it go faster. So people are a little worried about how complex it is right now, but it is something new. And the PvPers in Star Wars have been chomping at the bit for something new for quite a while. So it's something interesting for them to get back into.
Right,
Yeah.
sounds fun.
You guys talked about that in the last Escape podcast, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I think we did, yes, because I was on the
if you want
PTS doing it.
Yeah, if you want more details, go listen to that Escape podcast. It covers it very well.
You're a robot.
Yep. We'll talk about it a little bit more this week in just that they've had some updates. It won't be our main segment, but they did make some tweaks because it is on the PTS. They've been taking a lot of the player feedback in a really good way and tweaking it to make it work out a little better than it was sort of the first round, changing some of the timing on how long it takes to cap things, making it a little bit more fair. So it's looking good.
Right.
So they're adding those kinds of things along the way. The downside is they haven't added any new operations, so those are the raids or the end game content. They've made it so all of the operations that you could do before are updated to level 65 and bolstered, so anyone 50 to 65 can do the story mode content altogether. And all of the current gear drops in those, so that's nice. But
That's cool.
A lot of the PvE players are still chomping at the bit for new operations, so we hope to hear announcements on that in the next couple months.
If you're thinking about giving SWTOR a try too, just so you know, the story mode version of all those ops, they have a bolster feature, so you don't have to have a bunch of gear or any gear really. Just whatever gear you show up in, it'll be fine because you get bolstered to a point. Everyone on the team gets a bolster so that you can be successful in the ops if you work together.
Yep.
And by ops, I mean operations. That's what we call raids.
Great.
And finally, we're keeping an eye out for other new sort of mini-game extra features that they're adding along the way. We were supposed to get tomorrow, although it's pushed off another month, and they're going to put it on the PTS because they really want to balance it. But it's something called the Eternal Championship. And basically it's a, 7-round boss, solo boss fight where you sort of do the challenge and you fight the next boss and fight the next boss. They get harder and harder and harder along the way, and there's like a weekly version of it and a daily version of it for rewards and challenge and I think also for influence to get another new companion from the past.
It hasn't been on the PTS yet, so I haven't seen it, but I imagine it to be sort of like the Brawlers Club in WoW, if you've ever played that.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just glad they're using the PTS more.
Yes.
They've been away from it for a little while. I think they've really, well, I'm going to say I think they didn't want to have spoilers, so they were keeping things off the PTS for the last 6 months. Yeah. But that was, they've run into some bugs along the way that it probably would have gotten worked out if they would have put stuff on the PTS.
Yeah.
So what about the guild, Seema?
Yes.
Well, we have, I'll just go through the days of the week. We'll do it that way. So in our guild, we do have a raid team that meets on Monday nights. They're on the pub side. They're called Soldiers of Light. I run with them from time to time. They are a ton of fun. I really love those guys. So that would be a good one to check out. On Tuesday nights, we do our mandatory fun night, which is to say...
Mandatory.
The attendance is not mandatory, but the fun is. So what we do is we collect on Tuesday nights, and according to who we have, we kind of do whatever content that would be good. We might do story mode ops, or we might do something that everyone has to be level 65 for. It kind of depends on if there's any events running that week. We might do some goals towards achievements or events, or even this thing called Conquest, which we can talk about. But Tuesday nights is always a lot of fun. I really highly recommend it. Even if you're not high enough level, you can come and join us on Mumble and also in dubstep, or whatever that music sharing place is, where we play the same songs over and over again.
Yeah. Dubtrack.fm.
Yes, thank you.
Be there.
That's actually one of the fun features. Wednesday night we have an ops team that meets on the imp side, and that team is run by Arvashette. Also a fun team. So if you're on the imp side looking for a team, or if you're just free on a Wednesday night, it's always worth checking in on any of these nights because they might need someone to fill in. On Thursday nights, we have the ops team that Max and I are on. It's also on the imp side, the Empire side. We're called Lords of Light, which is a historical name. We used to be on the pub side, the Republic side.
Makes sense, yeah.
But we went to the dark
Is
side.
it ironic, or got it? That makes more sense.
And
They're playing light Sith.
I really wanted it to spell wall, was really how that worked.
Yeah, that was
Right.
So.
Then on the weekend, there is a team that's just now forming up, and I believe they're going to be going on Friday night. So we have a lot of ops teams going, and then weekends we kind of are free to play SWTOR.
Yep.
Oh, although I see there's a note here for GSF on the weekend. Is there something we're going to try and start something up regular for GSF?
Well, we did last weekend. Now that Sten, one of our officers, he was on multiple ops teams. He's backing that off, and that's going to give him an opportunity. He's one of our key wing commanders. So we flew last weekend. Flew some GSF. I'd like to get back into doing more GSF more often. So people who don't know what that is,
yeah, I
called
was
Galactic Starfighter. It's a mini game. Well, not even that many. You have a fleet of your own starships, and you fly them in open space. And
Pretty.
it's basically PvP with the starships. You're either on a deathmatch version of a map or a capture the satellite, capture the points version of a map. But it's Starfighter with different ship types: bombers, strike fighters, scouts, and gunships, with each different abilities, and you level up the ships and add different components and cosmetics and everything. It's pretty extensive.
Not to be confused with Space Missions, which still exists, but that is a whole different mini game. That is the one that you might be familiar with, where your shuttle, your ship is on rails, right? And then you have objectives that you try to take out. They get progressively harder and harder.
Right.
Which is also fun, just a completely different game.
Right.
Yep.
Either way, fun with your ships.
And then we had a question that was sent in for the podcast by someone named Tetsim.
Come up and see me.
New guy, new guy, real nice. He'll he's got his first spreadsheet out for the game. It's real cute. So anyway, asking about Conquest. So I don't know if you're doing it this week, Tetsemi, if you've got into it. But what Conquest is in Star Wars: The Old Republic is a set of personal objectives that contribute to an overall guild point system for the week. And it runs Tuesday through Sunday, through the end of Sunday night. You, as a guild, pick a planet to quote-unquote invade. You get a personal point target for your character that you're going after. And that point target, it's either 20 or 25,000 points. And then you get a series of objectives which change from week to week. And some are repeatable and some are one time. And they could be anything. They could be do some PvP and you get 500 points. Do an operation and you get 1,000 points. Do a little crafting and you get 500 points. Right. So the objective is to complete your personal target, and then all of your personal points contribute to the guild overall, the guild total, and guilds then are competing against each other. For sort of it's not too much of a reward, but you're sort of winning the invasion. You're conquering the planet that you've invaded as a guild. So bragging rights, if nothing else. You get a set of extra rewards, little rewards, but some credits and some extra stuff if your guild makes the top 10 on the planet. And then yes, if you win, then you get both the bragging rights and a little bit of extra rewards on top of that.
A cherry on top.
Yes.
Plus some fun.
So our
And
guild is
what-
definitely on the board for this week, it looks like. I think we're going to finish in the top 10 for Hoth that we've invaded this week, which is nice.
That's nice
My-
because, a little extra reward, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Which
little-
user
little
interface
things.
panel is that in? Because, good lord,
L.
Star Wars loves its interface panel.
Yeah, so hit L for the regular quest log, and it's the second
Oh,
tab
okay.
over. So it's you can look
Gotcha.
at your mission log, and then you can look at the conquest tab. And you'll
Okay.
see where we've invaded, and then sort of what the guild total is, and what your personal total is, and then all of the bonuses, what sort of the objectives are for the week. This
And are
ties
most
in
of those,
actually. Yeah.
I was going to say, are most of those like stronghold bonuses or?
So the way the stronghold fits in is you have a bonus. There's a baseline amount of points. Depending on which planet you've chosen to invade, you might have extra bonuses because you're invading that particular planet. And then on top of all of that, there's a bonus for how complete your strongholds are overall.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 4 strongholds and they're all decorated 100%, then you have 100% total bonus, and it scales down from there.
Gotcha.
And that's 100% on the base
Wow.
points, not on the bonus for the planet.
It
The
looks
two
like-
bonuses don't multiply.
It looks like AIE was at 100%.
I am 100% with my strongholds. This is
Right?
where I
Oh, that
am
was your
right
question.
now.
Wow.
This is
That's pretty impressive.
so that's another thing. If you guys haven't played in a while, the stronghold is really a fun mini system. There's some active uses for your stronghold. Like here in my stronghold, I have the GTN, which is the auction house access. I can get to it. I can get to all my cargo storage, guild bank, mailbox, all of that kind of stuff. But I also get all of the cool decorations that either coming out of the cartel market or dropping in operations. Like here I've got this big guy is Garge from one of the first operations in the game, Eternity Vault. Garge is a iconic character, and that decoration drops from Garge like a trophy. And this guy is Grob Thok, who's a Mecha Rancor in one of the other operations.
He's not as cute as Garge.
Garge is legendary. with
cool
our
looking.
guild. The voiceover to introduce Garge is awesome because it's, I don't know who the guy is that did the voiceover, but it's the Soa character, which is the end boss. He basically is telling you about Garge as you walk into Garge's chamber, and he says, Garge, whose claws scored the canals of Salot, and look upon Garge and cower in fear. He's got a really great voice when he does it. So in
Wow,
our
that
guild,
sounds like fun though.
we embellish that by naming all the other things that make Garge terrible, like he finished the milk and put the container back in the fridge. he left the toilet seat up at the end of the night. Garge.
Garge needs to not then.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy. So
Clearly.
obviously lots of fun things. So I think that's a pretty good summary. And you guys have any questions for us before we sort of wrap up? Been chatting here for a while.
No.
I think we're
Covered
good.
it all.
Pretty
Thank you guys so much
straightforward.
for all the great information.
So
Yeah.
Seema, do you want to let them know how they should join us?
Yes,
if they
to
would
join
like?
our guild, our server we're on is Jedi Covenant. Just log in and /zjoin AIE LFO, which AIE looking for officer. If you happen to be on a different server transfers are cheap, 90 cartel coins. So 90 cartel coins will get you onto Jedi Covenant. Just join join AIE Alpha, or if you're already in Mumble, you can just drop down to a channel and say, "Is there an officer around?" and get you an invite. We do want you to put in an app in Umami.
Eventually.
Eventually, yeah. If you want things like, I don't know, guild bank access and stuff, yes, put an app in. But we'd love to have you.
Yeah. You
And
don't
how
need
can
an
we
app
work
to
with it?
jump
Yeah.
in the channel and get dropped in. And
Cool.
and you can also check in if you can't find an officer right away, because we're on the Republic side and the Imperial side. The guild doesn't cross the sides, so it's sort of two guilds. You can also catch us like on Twitter or in Mumble, and we've
Right.
got a bunch of officers that are in and out all week.
Everything is fair game.
But yeah, certainly catch us up and we'll get you taken care of.
I
Check
mean,
in
the
on
best
forums.
time is to try during all those op times I mentioned, because there's
Yes.
usually going to be an officer on during those times.
Right. Cool. And so, where do we go to get more guild news about the AIE SWTOR Guild specifically?
So, best place is obviously the forums, as we say, with with anything with AIE. AIE-guild.org. We've got a SWTOR page up there as well, and a little bit of a wiki, although it's a little bit out of date, but we've got a lot of good information still there. We also, obviously, that we've mentioned a couple times, do the podcast. So you can check us out in the podcast, and that can be found. It's linked off the website, and then I host the page for the podcast on newoverlords.com. We stream the podcast on Monday nights, and then we also stream at least a couple of the ops teams throughout the week. So the Mandatory Fun Night on Tuesdays, I usually stream. You can find that on twitch.tv/newoverlords. And then we usually stream our ops team on Thursday night.
And then you can see what total news we are at ops, and you won't feel intimidated at all by coming and raiding with us.
Yes.
Well, first I need to level up, but then I can totally noob it up.
Exactly.
Across AIE, if anyone is on Twitter, I recommend setting up a search term somewhere. I use TweetDeck, and I have a search column for hashtag AIE Guild. If you want to find stuff across AIE, across all the games, stuff that's going on, that's a great thing to have always around, keeping an eye on.
Yeah, we try and tag events and other things like that, podcasts. I know, Max, when you go live, you tag it, so.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. And where can we find you guys on social media specifically? You
can find me at Max the Gray on Twitter. That's probably the easiest place. And I think I'm on Rocket Chat now too, and I don't know. I pop in on Reddit in the SWTOR Reddit subreddit, but I don't know. Mostly Twitter. So there you go.
I'm not as modern as Max, but you can find me on Twitter at AIE SEMA.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right, so that is our show for tonight. While our lovely chat room begins suggesting titles, we want to thank Max and Seema and our special guest, Ralph, for joining us with all the SWTOR news. Oh, Ralph, where can we find you? I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
I'm right over here.
Hi. There you are.
Yeah. On Twitter, I'm at Ralphie, RALFFIE. That's good enough.
All right, then.
You know, I forgot to say something, though. The reason the game is called the Black Desert, I think, is because so far there seems to be a story developing where I have some sort of black demon growing inside of me.
Oh.
So I'm not sure, but it's very scary.
Really frightening.
And he just got teeth.
Yes.
So.
We're done with that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining
FYI.
us and the nightmares you have caused.
Whatever. Nightmares involve sleeping, Aludra.
Yeah, well
this is true.
All right, so if you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. I am at Aludra_AIE. Michaela is at Cyberwave, and Ted Semi is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Check the website just in case our dates fluctuate. You can join us in the chat room and play along with us on our website, theaiepodcast.com, where I just mentioned you can check and see if our times and dates fluctuate. Our theme song was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. You can follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website at keyswithsoul.com.
And both Mew Cow and Hunts the Wind were away on assignment, so no new member segments this week. But remember, we love member segments, so if you have one and want us to play it, send it in.
Yep.
In 2 weeks, we will be talking to...
someone about something.
Okay, we can guarantee it's AIE related, though. So until then, AIE, this is Tetsemi.
This is Aludra.
This is Makala, and this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo! Sorry, my husband's texting me like crazy.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Like
for
Yeah,
coming
guys,
out.
I
party
like
at the
hearing
end.
about all the things. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
All the things. Yep.
All the things.
So Max, how far are you in Black Desert?
Around where you are, maybe a little bit, maybe a couple levels sooner. 12 or 12 or 13.
Yeah. I'm 15, but I don't think I've done much because I fished a lot.
I did fish quite a bit.
No, in our max level,
afternoon.
our max hot MMO that we're designing, it definitely should have fishing.
It does
Right.
need fishing. We'll have to have.
I mean, I
Yeah,
totally missed that in SWTOR.
we need to list all the things because there's like 3 things from City of Heroes I want to make sure it has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because Aludra, I'm playing Stardew Valley, and with the
Stardew
fishing on.
Valley!
Oh my God! Every single person is playing that.
All the
I know.
Stardew Valley! Oh, hey,
No,
my
but what's
chicken.
funny is they teach you how to fish, and it's like, okay, so I throw the bobber, no problem, and all of a sudden, off to the side of my desk, I just hear. I'm like, the hell was that? And
It's
I'm like,
your
and I missed.
Is it your reel?
It was the when the fish hits. If you have a Xbox 360 controller or an Xbox controller hooked up to your
Oh.
PC,
It vibrates.
Oh, wait! Just wait till you get a horse, because the horse gallops are through the rumble feature as well.
Oh,
And
nice.
so every time it goes clop clop, your thing vibrates. It's so funny.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. All
I
right,
find
so there are.
walking's easier with a controller, but everything
Yeah.
else I use the mouse for.
Yeah. All right, Seema and Max, you have 2 show titles from Sybil to decide which one you want to go through.
I like the Garge one, A Legend in His Own Mind.
Yes.
All right.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Alright. Oh my gosh.
Fish
All
on.
right. Fish on. Cool. Well, thank you guys again. This was
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks for having
all
us,
right.
guys.
Yeah, thanks for letting me in last minute.
No
Oh,
problem.
absolutely. Hey, anytime you want
Thanks
to
for the
craft.
update. Yeah.
All right. Bye, chat room.
Bye, guys.